Thanks for staying here. My speech will be about game idea validation and like any idea validation. So my name is Nadia. I'm head of product for SplitMetrics Optimize. It's the product that helps you to create fake pages, fake App Store pages, and fake Google pages, and run tests on it. So we like help different mobile apps like on daily basis. So we create an internal framework to explain our customers how to take the most of idea validation, and I will share this framework with you today and show some examples and case studies. So probably you could take these ideas and also implement it. So why even validate? Like you have crazy ideas or your boss have some crazy ideas. Why couldn't you implement it right away? The answer is because of competition, and you probably all know about that. I found statistics. So there are lots of games available even on Android, and more games available on App Store. So the competition is really, really hard. And to illustrate how A/B testing could help you, I have a little puzzle for you. I know you like that games. It's our case study. Our recent client, they was running then an A/B test with us. You see the current icon with the bottle. It's a dating app, and they were running an A/B test to trying to understand how to improve the icon. So let's play a little bit. So what do you think? Which icon wins? Like who think it was the A icon? Oh, wow. Okay. B. Uh-huh. C? Wow, really? You think the C wins? Okay, but actually you're wrong. This icon wins because we actually don't know why. It just wins. Probably, but we have an idea. We have a clue because this icon shows the mechanic of the game, and the C and B icon. They actually was the idea was was taken from the dating apps. So probably you know a lot about dating apps. That's why you vote for the C icon. The idea was to show you how these changes could improve your app, even if it's not released yet or if it's already in the store. So the idea validation helps you to increase the chances of your product to succeed and to stand among the competitors. So here is the framework. It can here are 8 steps. So the first one is not many people love market and competitive research. It sounds boring usually, but the market and competitive research helps you to understand the field. And if you're just a young game developer, you have to definitely check the market because your investors will ask you like what's market size and what's the competition. So in terms of market and competitive research, there are 3 steps. You have to research market itself, competitors, and audience. So for market research, you have to start from the market, from the size of the market. Also check the app category and the game genre, and also search for some trends. There are several tools that you could use for research. These are like the list of my favorites. So you already know the Data AI. I love these guys very much, but not in terms of pricing, but they have lots of data. Also, if you don't have such budgets, you could check Statista. It's also my favorite resource, and also research.google. They are not really popular among the app developers, but there are lots of data about almost any app genre or game genre and market sizes. So just put like puzzle games market size there, and you will see lots of data and numbers. And I also include ASO benchmarks and mobile trends report. It's ours from SplitMetrics. It's free, so you can download it and check all the benchmark from the industry. About the competitive research. Like it's actually a little bit of a gray zone because it's not so easy to say it out loud that all the competitors' research is about stealing others' ideas, but it is all about stealing. Like you have to find the ideas that helps your competitors and implement it to your product, to your app. So about the competitive research, the tips here is to check check the icons, check the screenshots. I will show it a little bit later on the next slide. Also check the USPs. This means that to pay attention to words that your competitors choose to on their games, on their advertising. And my favorite part is to analyze the competitors' advertising. It's really easy and it's free. Just go to Facebook, to the page of your competitors, and check the page transparency, ads library, and you see all the creatives that your competitors are using. And now when Facebook finally implement the integration with custom product pages, if you click to the advertising of your competitors, you'll probably see where they led, and you could also see the funnels, like UA funnels that your competitors use. So about also the competitive research, the idea is to analyze the similarities. So you see with the microphone, it's more like more better to understand what similarity you can see when you analyze competitors. And the idea is to identify these similarities and like play a little bit with the size, with colors, but to make it possible to your audience to recognize what's your app or your game is about, but like make yourself visible among the competitors. Audience analysis. For audience analysis, it's better to test in advertising, or like I already told you about the Facebook. And it's also several tools that called audience listening. They're also not so popular among other apps, but they could help you to understand, to track the mentions and the name of your competitors, and check how your audience react to the competitors' updates and what your audience are talking about your competitors. The stage number 2, ideation. So the first one was research. Now you have to create a list of ideas. There are 2 sources of creating ideas for your test. So the external, I already told you about, and internal. Also, like you can look on your data or ask for like analytics guy to bring you some ideas from internal data. But if you're running of ideas, I collect a list of ideas that you could just pick and test. Also, here are 2 examples to show you that ideas not necessarily could be very sophisticated. Just, for example, you could play with the orientation option, and you also could notice that lots of apps and games, they use this trick. They like put the tilted elements to the icon, and this helps to our brain to identify that it's something unusual, and the audience probably will pick this icon with the tilted element. Or the idea number 2, also picked up from big competitors. You could place people and characters with the head oriented towards your CTA features. It helps you to like lead the view of the audience to where you need it to be. So step number 3, it's a little bit also boring, but do not test ideas, test hypotheses. So that's important, because if you will test hypothesis, you will know in advance what result do you want to get and how it will what exactly how to analyze it. So the hypothesis formula sounds like I believe that by doing something, for example, by changing the screenshot orientation, we get some specific outcome, and that improves some specific metric. The tip here, you already heard about it during the conference, test just one hypothesis at a time or one element at a time. You, of course, could test several elements, but for that you need either like analytical teams or like some product, some analytical tool. But if you don't have, just test one hypothesis and one element at a time. And one more tip, start with the first line impression elements. This means that the first icon and the first screenshot could bring you more in terms of metrics. Step number 4, here you create the test variations, and you already also heard about how to create test variations, but here I want to show you that it's not necessary to create like completely different variations. You have to play with an objects with this size and see that these small changes could bring you more impact. And for games, it's also important to test characters or objects, because different characters and objects could bring different amount of attention. Step number 5, experiment design. And here you have to decide, do you have money or not? If no, in that case, you could use native tests with CPP testing, in-app store, in-app events testing. So free native solutions. If you do have budget, you could test run tests with special products like us. Or also if you do have game or an app in store already, you also could use native testing, test in social media advertising. But if you don't have an app yet, you could create emulated pages. You also could run tests with old-fashioned web pages. That also works. And also could run tests with quizzes and polls to learn more about your audience. Step number 6, result analysis. Here you have actually 3 options, killing, iterating, or scaling. So killing is the easiest part. If you don't see the significant changes in your test, just kill it and relax. If you see the significant changes, but if you see changes but they're not significant, you could run one more iteration. Or if you want to be sure that the element, like you want to be sure about the changes, you could run several iterations. And scaling means that you have to implement the result on production. So about iteration, I have one more example. These guys want to be absolutely sure that they have like they will get a significant change. So they create several iterations of a test. So they start from one girl with big eyes and ended up with more girls. But this iteration testing gives them like really huge result in Google Play Store and also a great result in App Store. So the trick here is iterating a little bit, but stop somewhere and implement it to production. Findings sharing. If you're like one and only employee in your own company, in your own startup, you can skip this part. But if you do have colleagues, just try to share the results, at least to your SEO. So you could probably get promotion. But if like at least it's nice to share your results with colleagues, because your colleagues could pick up some ideas from your testing, and you also could get some ideas from their tests. And that's also like good idea to create for your company one unique storage of all the testing that different departments are running, because that will be your like knowledge base of testing. And the last one is tracking the changes in metrics. So you have to stop somewhere and implement it, implement the results to production, and wait. In average, our clients waiting for a month to see how these tests usually influence the metrics. So yeah, one more slide with the framework. I hope it was useful, and that's it from me. Hope you will enjoy A/B testing.
we have time for some questions. You should get some reward.
One question: how much? for the but no, you can tell me later. But
how much do you want to hire me, or
for the service?
for the service? Like depends.
Yeah, okay.
Depends
On the needs.
I'm not selling. I'm product manager. Like I'm responsible for product development.
Okay, but you were talking mostly about testing the icons, which is now available on Google Play as default, and
no.
I didn't see like testing the ideas in terms of like marketability test. Is your service like for the validation of the entire game idea, or it's just for the icons?
Yeah, of course. Most of our clients validate ideas with us because for like testing screenshots, testing audience, and testing icons, you can use the native solutions. Because when you don't have an app yet, how will you do that? Only with creating like even fake pages, or through web pages, or in like advertising.
Okay, so the icons test and screenshots test, it's in the phase when the game is not non-existent.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I get it now. Thank you.
Any other questions? Maybe I will ask. So, how long it takes to like run such test?
Sometimes it's really fast and cheap. That happens. So we recently have the test that was running for 3 days, and we get the results like immediately. But sometimes it could take 2 weeks. But if and 250 visitors per variation, and if we see that the results are not so good, we just kill the test and start over again.
But in this case, are you have specific like geographics where you're running those tests, or like it's just
Yes, absolutely. Like the specific geographic. I actually want to tell example about geographic, but I exclude this slide because I thought I will running out of time. But
okay, so we can talk later.
Yeah.
But in this case, I was the question like, do you like run those tests in like those cheap countries, or like it's like, okay, if the app is going to be for like tier 1, then you are like
no. If you want to release in specific country, you have to run in the specific country. So like I will tell, I have 2 examples for this specific country. We recently ran test because the app wanted to release to Japan, and they trying to run this test and nothing worked, like nothing. Screenshot doesn't work. People don't want to click, don't want to interact with the page. And we ran like 4 iterations, and one of our designers, he was already hate this app and Japan as a country, so he started putting the crazy elements like big eyes, like unicorns, rainbows, and we just for fun just start this test, and turns out that people start clicking. So that was a little bit crazy. So the idea was like if you do want to launch to a specific country, you don't have to test on the different regions. It depends on the country.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you again.
Thank you.